Hello, welcome to another episode of Gathered Glow. This is where we talk about what is kind of the energy underneath how we lead and live. And today I have a special guest on with me, Katherine Price, my brilliant, beautiful sister-in-law. She is Dr. Katherine Price. She is a amazing, extraordinary professional, mother, wife, and my friend who gets to have a lot of these conversations unrecorded with
Mm-hmm.
me. And so I'm so thrilled that you are here today. And what I wanted to talk about, really kind of from stemming from the last episode, talking about capacity.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much to say within
Yeah.
capacity. But in the last few weeks, it's funny. She's my sister-in-law. And so my brother is so talented and amazing in so many ways. And you have such a beautiful family.
Thank you.
But sometimes I'm like, he is overstimulated. He's overstimulating. And then he also has a gift where he can like tune out everything
Mm-hmm.
himself
Mm-hmm.
and not
Mm-hmm.
realize like that there's so much going on. Like
Yeah.
in an overstimulating environment, I feel like it's just like he's in a bubble and the rest of us are like, do you not hear that?
Yes.
Do you not see all of this?
Yes. It is a gift.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so we've had conversations about feeling like oh my gosh, this is overstimulating right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
the music and the input and the
Mm-hmm.
noise and the TV and five people calling your name,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It can be a lot. And so I really wanted to just have this conversation to understand what it means in life and in leadership and everything and how we show up when our own self is kind of telling us like, "Ugh, I'm feeling a lot, I'm taking a lot in," and knowing like this is not weakness, this is not that we're not grateful of the 20 people on our phone calling us and asking for us. Like there could be gratitude and love, but it can still be a lot. And how do we deal with that and
Mm-hmm.
preserve our own self
Mm-hmm.
and what's best for us and really reprioritizing what best means sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I got this lovely guest on with me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. I after the last episode, I was like, I've really been kind of chewing on some questions that you posed, and trying to kind of, yeah, just, well, realizing for one thing that like um I don't feel like I have a whole lot of balance when it comes to um managing my capacity,
Mm.
and that, like, just realizing that kind of figuring that little puzzle out, I think would allow me to kind of bring better energy to
Mm.
all the things that I do,
Yeah.
rather than feeling a little like tired, overworked, whatever, and being like half of myself with work, half of myself with family. Um, Actually, I think it was on your last episode that you mentioned like, you kind of had an aside where you were like, just so you know, like I'm bringing 100% of myself to every episode. I thought that was really like inspiring, and like, you know, I yeah, in you saying that, I was like, man, it was a little bit convicting because I was like, I feel like I come with like at most 75% energy to everything. And sometimes like that's my initial presentation. And then I sometimes can work myself up
Uh-huh.
to 100,
Yeah.
but it's a great, I think, place to be, to know that you're giving whatever you give your energy to, like your everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot to, yeah, a lot to learn, and growth potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you're here and just to have the perspective around this because capacity is like we live it, right? It's like the fuel that we all have, but it's almost like we forget to check in on our own car that we're driving. Like we know how much fuel because it kind of replenishes every day. But I do, I had to sit back and realize too, like I was giving 100% to things that if you asked, oh, at the end of your life, what's the most important thing to you? the things that were not on that list we're getting 100%.
Yes. I think that happens more often than not.
And it was like
Yeah.
an aha of like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
if I am creating the life that I want, I'm also giving my
Mm-hmm.
gifts and the best of my ability. I can't give I can't give the people I love and the things I love not the best of me. I think in past relationships, this is my apology to them. they they got an okay version of me. Maybe like the 70%, the 60%, some days maybe lower, some days higher, but it was always like the people I love the most, if for me it's like fluctuated. It was like you get what's left over
Yeah.
and I will give you 100% of what's left.
Yeah.
And then it kind of dawned on me like, when did I give myself any of this pie?
Mm-hmm.
Because in order for me to give at this level consistently, sustainably, and still enjoy and not feel like I'm with friends and I'm with this and that and work and all these things,
Mm-hmm.
and not just feel like, to be honest, there's times in my life where I got really recognized and great accomplishments and I was smiling and I was there, but mentally I was not there because I was so drained
Mm-hmm.
that it felt like a shell, like
Mm-hmm.
felt like a distant memory. Like I'm here, I'm doing this, but my brain is so locked into everything else I have to get done after this moment that I can't even appreciate how good this moment is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there were some like real revelations that I've had that has made this so important. But I feel like as people, your energy is your life. It's what you get to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to place it in the places you feel is like deemed most important.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
today I wanted to talk about like not just in theory of what it feels like to be overstimulated or the reality of like busyness and a lot of inputs and things to do, but really how does it really lived? What's the actual real life of it? You're a wife, you're a mother, and you are an incredible professional that a lot of people rely on. And you have a beautiful family and you're there for everyone and you're there for me and you're there for pets and you're there for your extended family. That is a lot. It's a lot of service to others. So much so that it can feel like, when do you have time to check your own capacity and to really
Mm-hmm.
like check in with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. 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 Um, yeah. Well, I I think I haven't honestly been great about
yeah.
prioritizing that, even knowing to make it a priority. I like culturally just I mean, wider culture, my family culture, like it's
Mhm.
always been like um push, it's always been work hard, it's always been serve, it's always been like pull your weight, you're part of this team. Um that it's actually pretty foreign,
Yeah.
like the concept of putting yourself first, and so it's something, yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm trying to figure that out. I realized that I need more intentionality in
Mhm.
my life. Like, I'm kind of reaching what I would call midlife, I suppose. And with that, I'm really like, I feel like, okay, this is the time I need to make my life what I want it to be. Like,
Yeah.
not just be passive about it. I think I've been very passive. I think I've been very like um getting through the day. This is what I need to do, blah blah blah, but not a lot of um thought about what direction I want my life to go, what I want my life to look like what is what I'm doing lining up with my actual values?
Hmm.
And so there's a lot. Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
the beginning, and
Yeah.
I think maybe we can talk about it in a year and we'll see what's
Oh,
changed,
yeah.
a little
Okay.
update.
You heard
But
it first from her.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are big questions. And, there are different seasons. There are some seasons where it's like you got a tunnel vision and like push through. Like it's true. And thinking about like sometimes having excess feels like a luxury, even like excess of like time or energy, right? Like there are certain seasons or days where you're like, this is the deadline. This is what you got to do. You got to like push through. But I feel like we, as a society, just learn to live like that. And you're right. Like culturally, I feel like what I'm talking about is not the norm for me. I had to unlearn
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
work, work ethic, hard work, um, pushing beyond whatever. It was like overriding. I override, not anymore, past tense. I used to override how I would feel, what my body was signaling to me, what my mind was. And I think I have like naturally I work very quickly and I can get a lot done. Like it's at a fast pace. But I realize like everything I'm doing will have a cost or an investment. And I need to realize what am I investing into and what's costing me. And that's how I kind of started looking at it. But overstimulation still happens. On
Hmm.
my best days, it's kind of a signal to me that inputs have exceeded my capacity. And it could be like just a moment, right? It's not like, oh, I'm living in this state, right? Overwhelm or
Hmm.
overstimulation can happen instantaneously. It's like when you're driving your car and you miss your exit, you were blasting your music the whole time, and now all of a sudden you're turning down your radio because it's just too much to take
Focus a
in.
little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it happens, and it could be, too many decisions. It could be too much sound, touch, expectations, personal or emotional demands. And I think in the modern world that we live, there are so many inputs. There are so many demands as well that it can be a lot.
Hmm.
Some days I realize like even though I have the same amount of energy, the amount of energy that drains from me when I just think about everything I have to get done, I'm like, yeah, before I even started, it's like
Hmm.
deducted from my capacity levels.
Hmm.
and and that wasn't good. So I had to think about like you can't I can't go into being overwhelmed before anything is even done.
Hmm.
Um, but that got me thinking, and I know you have a lot of background, like biblically, um, of
Our
a
Bible,
story. Yeah, your
your
Bible
my
trivia
Bible
days.
trivia. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah,
There was a story that came to both of our minds separately,
yeah.
about Jesus and Mary and Martha.
Mm,
And Mary and Martha, for those of you who don't know the story, they're two sisters. They kind of are in the group with Jesus. Like, there's this one story where he's, in the sitting room, like telling stories, teaching, and I assume there's probably a big group of people listening. And one of the sisters, Mary, is sitting right there listening to his teaching. And Martha is busy, like tending to everything else, getting food ready, cleaning, like hosting kind of duties. And Martha gets irritated and upset because then she tells Jesus, like, tell Mary to help me. Like, do you see how much I'm working over here? I'm doing it all by myself. And Jesus says, something like, Mary has chosen what's better. Um, don't take it away from her, or something like that. And it's very, yeah, I think it kind of really is good for the topic that we're talking about, and it was very convicting to me because I was telling Jackie that like, I guess the culture that is built into me so much like still has me questioning if Jesus was right in saying that. I'm such a Martha, and I feel like if I was Martha in that story, I would have been like, but did you consider? Are you sure? Can you reconsider your stance? Because I feel like I still have a point. Um, and I mean, it just goes to show, like how much work we have to do internally. um, I'm a Martha for sure. I've told my husband that like, maybe in family gatherings or things like that, like, um, yeah, this exact situation will happen. Like, he or other people will sit and kind of like have nice family time, chatting, playing games, and I'm like, I can't focus. I feel like I can't sit and enjoy until all the tasks are done. And I, in my head actually realize like this isn't important. It'll get done. Like spend time with family. But it goes against like my intuition really. Like what's been
Your
built into me.
intuition?
Or like it goes against my like I don't know, my comfort
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
I don't know, upbringing. It gives me like anxiety
Uh-huh.
knowing that there's this list of things that needs to be done. So, anyway,
No, I
yeah.
know. I feel like I was raised the same way. And yeah, where especially, she's married to my brother. So I'll say, like, I do think that there was a difference too in how I was raised
Mhm.
than my brothers.
Mhm. All your brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the only girl.
Yeah. Of
Mhm.
like, you need to make sure, like almost like you're taking care of
Mhm.
everything all the time. And like, I don't know. I was rebellious though. So, so I was like, get them in here to help. Like,
Mhm.
we're doing this together, everyone. Yeah, it's interesting that story. And it did come to both of us. And like you mentioned it earlier, and I was like, yes, like we have to talk about it because I think it's such a powerful story that speaks to the opposite of what most of us are inclined to do.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's like sometimes the most simple things are the most powerful, where
Yeah.
he's just like, no, this is the
Yeah.
better choice.
Yeah. But also
And
hard
yeah, yeah,
to
well,
unlearn, hard to put into practice.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
I think like
Mhm.
I've learned, and you all know in every episode, um, my opinion. I've learned that like discomfort doesn't equal bad. That
Mhm.
sometimes discomfort is just telling you you're changing.
Mhm.
And just like, you know, everything goes through changes, there is a season where like that might look a little messy. That might be a little ugly. That wasn't done perfectly. I tried and then I went back. But embracing the fact going into seasons of change, once you like declare like this is how I want to cultivate my life. This is what I want and work and life, whatever your goal is. Once you state that, I think you have to step back and say, what is this going to cost me to have this? And that cost may be letting go of things that you've held on to from upbringing. Could be the cost of comfort. Just like when you start to change your physical body and work out, the cost is you have to get out of your comfort zone of like what you're doing. Is it a calorie deficit? Is it moving your body? Like something? And when she's kneeling, listening to the stories and the teachings, and her sister's like, you're not doing anything, I'd probably want to say the same thing too,
Mhm.
you know?
For sure.
But what you really want out of life is a balance and things and
Mhm.
knowing an opportunity when it's there, and
Mhm.
not to be sad, not to get to a sad place, because I didn't intend to go here, but even in just like life and death, and experiencing it and understanding the finality of some things, you know, if it's okay, having a family dog that even passed, and I was walking him and, seeing him age and realizing like all of the moments that I wish I had slowed down to even just play with him a little
Yeah.
bit longer,
Yeah.
or all of the
Mhm.
things that I was like, hurry up, you're walking slow. And now I'm like, we can take this as slow as you want.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
a joy it is to be in your presence and to be even moving this slow with you.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's like those moments that are my reminders. And I wish it didn't have to be
Mhm.
so extreme, to be like shifting my focus on like what's actually important to you.
Yeah.
What actually are you going to do with the time I have here?
Mhm.
And I know like that we gotta, that's a big, that's heavy. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
go
No,
there,
but
but
it's true. I it made me think, like how stubborn we are, and like how many times do we have to hear what we already know, like work isn't your life. Like people on their deathbed always say they wish they would have spent more time with their family. Like there's all this like,
yeah,
wisdom and proof, and like how stubborn are we that, we have to learn it the hard way, and can't we just, you know, yeah,
yeah,
put our priorities, put our energy where we know our priorities should
yes,
be,
yeah. And I like working. Well,
Yeah.
I like working. I really do love it. I love what I do, right? And I love that other people sometimes are like, I love what I do and I work so hard. And I'm like, hard work is never what I'm like trying to shift someone in or out of. In fact, I work a lot with like motivation, productivity, and coaching people to be higher performers. I feel like there is a balance though that I've seen, that some of the highest performers I've worked with that did not start as high performers, understanding where are you actually wanting to go, and then reducing all of there's a lot of strain and energy lost in the mind and thinking and not in doing. I'm like, you can do the job, you're getting it done, but you've lost so much energy overthinking what you should be doing, how someone else is going to perceive this. All these like friction points, like your self doubt, you telling yourself that you should do this, you thinking you're better than someone else, you're thinking you're not as good as someone else. Like, we got to reduce all that to like bring that energy back into like what you just have to get done. Like in Mary Martha, like, does someone need to serve food? Does the food need to be like brought out? Probably. But when you're so busy, busy, busy that you miss the time to just sit and be still in the presence of those that you love, is when I think you have to recognize like you have to know when to say no. And I'm a perfectionist, and so this is not an easy conversation for me.
Mhm.
ChatGPT even sometimes is like, I'm like, tell me everything that you think about me. And it's like, you are a perfectionist. I'm like, I know this. I understand. Um, but I think with all of these inputs and demands and busyness, it can be easy to get overstimulated in a moment.
Mhm.
In a moment's notice, I'm like, too much, too much
Mhm.
going on, especially when you're in that, like, in the story. If I was in the
Mhm.
kitchen helping and then I
Mhm.
heard something, that little thing,
Mhm.
I'm triggered.
Yeah.
I'm like, so we got some questions. We got some questions in this bowl today around really what is it an intelligent way to like kind of think about capacity and overstimulation. And capacity is really just when inputs exceed, or overstimulation is when inputs exceed capacity. So we're gonna pull some questions and answer them. Okay,
All
you want to go
right.
first?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh gosh. Okay.
All right, that was far away.
Yeah. Good thing I got some long arms. All right. Where do you exceed your own limits on purpose?
Are we pulling questions for the
Oh,
other person
oh,
or for you?
well,
Yeah, you go ahead.
okay. That was for you, right? um, um, hmm. I think just in scheduling weekend plans,
Mm,
like I I really look forward to my weekends to kind of reset, recharge, and I always picture them as like, time to just sit and read or like, watch a movie, just kind of like be home. And weekends tend to get busier than the weekdays,
mm.
just filled with like little things one after the other. Um and I see them as like kind of necessary, and I do enjoy them once I'm there, but
Yeah,
it does take away from my you know recharging. I don't necessarily come away from my weekends feeling rested.
yeah.
um that's what I would say.
Oh my gosh, that is a lot. I now I'm well rested. Oh, wow. Yeah. No, it's a lot, but I
Yeah.
feel like that when you have children, which, I don't. So the responsibility level of taking care of another person is not there. But I talk to parents and my colleagues and friends, and I'm like, I don't know how you have time to do everything between activities, school, birthday parties, events, camps. I'm like, they're busier.
Yeah, they're so busy.
They're so busy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. And that's your schedule too. I don't understand how.
Mhm.
But it's awesome. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, she came to my daughter's swim class and was the best cheerleader a couple of
It's
days
so
ago. She,
fun.
she was so excited to have you there. She mentioned it the other day. Um, but she's very busy, and I find myself like I need to have hobbies. Like Evelyn has hobbies.
Yeah.
I need some
Yeah.
too. Um, yeah, and all the things that she's doing, I'm like, maybe I should take lessons too. But yeah,
We're
so
all in swim class now.
yeah. What you got over there?
Yeah. Okay. So my question is, what's the smallest thing that can completely trip your nervous system? Mm, I would say, I don't know. Honestly, certain people chewing, it like is such a trigger point for me. It's not everyone chewing. So I say this and
Mhm.
people like start chewing differently.
Yeah, yeah.
A certain like frequency and a chew that I'll put my headphones in. Sometimes in a work environment in a meeting, this lady was eating a breakfast taco. I had to get up and leave. I came back when she was done. It was the most, I can vividly remember it right now. I was so like, my brain can't handle this.
Hmm.
I cannot function until this stops. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
odd thing, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's common. I not chewing in particular, but I think like auditory, is that the word? I I'm kind of sensitive to just
yeah.
to like the number of things that I hear all at once.
Yeah.
That's hard for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, loud music, multiple people talking. Yeah.
Multiple people are always talking to
Thank you for
you.
recognizing. Yeah. Uh,
I I don't know anyone that like in a given moment, I feel like people just start saying your name at the same time and don't recognize that everyone is saying your
yeah.
name.
Yeah. Maybe Evelyn and Lee both have the same gift for like tuning everything else out. Um, yeah, and I'm usually the recipient. But, yeah. Like you said before, it doesn't mean that I'm not super grateful for all
Absolutely. Yes,
these
yes.
like crazy stories coming at me, and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the thing for like maybe everyone, but I'll say maybe women and moms more, is that sometimes to say like I'm overstimulated or like overwhelmed, sometimes people feel like it's not like it's like a lack of gratitude. Like this is your family. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I that's a lot. I'm overwhelmed. I'm watching what's happening for 2 minutes. Like you have this baby crying and this kid needs something and you're still working and like you have a sick child like that needs you. I'm like, there's so much going on. And I know like love can show up in many ways, but love doesn't take away from like yourself too, you know? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so I see that a lot from there's like parents at work, and I'm like, you got how many sick kids at home? One was sick, and now they're all sick,
Mm-hmm.
and now your husband's sick, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, and we got
Absolutely.
this deadline coming up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you want a hug, like, or a coffee? What do you need?
Some
Yeah, that's
vitamin
a
C.
lot.
Yeah.
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 Okay, you want to pull
On to the
another?
next. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Let's see. All right. Oh. Okay. What's your most irrational, overstimulating trigger? Uh, hmm. I to me it's rational, but yeah, I think just loud music in the car,
yeah.
even with no voices, like even with no one speaking to me.
Hmm.
Um, I can't think. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Liam listens to music loud. I'm always turning it down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Hmm.
That's a good one.
Even cooking, like, we'll be in the kitchen cooking.
It's so
It's
loud.
on so loud. I'm constantly turning down the volume.
Yeah, okay. I feel like he's my brother, so I can say what I want. And also, I say this, y'all, but maybe he'll be on one day. Like, I highly respect him. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to my music so loud, too. So loud. In my car, I have to turn it down,
When my
pulling up.
mom rode with you.
Oh my gosh. I felt so bad. Yeah. Yeah. If you get into it, it's sometimes shocking to me when I get in the car and how loud I've left it. Um, I have to turn it down if I'm like pulling up into an office or like where I'm like, let me crank this down. But it's too much in the kitchen. That
Okay, that
close
gets
to the
you.
speaker in the
Uh-huh.
kitchen, I can't. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, there's like food, grease popping. I don't know, like so much going on. The smells are happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. And then he blasts it. It is
Yeah.
your whole home. He really
Yes.
likes a good theme with whatever he's
Yeah,
cooking.
yeah. I do appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think that's fun. Yeah.
Okay, my question. What's your most dramatic internal monologue when overloaded? Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. Like, it gets dramatic. It gets dramatic quickly. And that drama, I'm not a dramatic person. I don't think by nature I'm super dramatic. Some would
Yeah,
say. Siblings may disagree. Um, but yeah, it does. In the moment, like I said, like the chewing. Like I know this isn't the end of the world. And in discomfort in almost any other way, I would sit in that room. But in this moment, you will break something inside of me
yeah.
if I stay. Like it gets very, and it can get really critical too, like critical of others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird for me because the critic most of the time is only directed towards myself and, very limited, not nearly as bad towards others. But when I'm overstimulated, I'm like, you're talking so loud. Are you always
Mm-hmm.
this loud of a talker?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it, yeah, and smells too. Okay. I didn't mean to go. We talked
All
about
the
Jesus and
senses.
all this. But like, yeah, if I feel like there's just too much I'm carrying, I can be like critical in a way of others, like, why aren't you helping?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And it can go into like a
Mm-hmm.
you're not trying as hard, or you're lazy, like a little judgy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mainly it's just dramatic towards me though. It's like it's just dramatic, y'all. I don't know how to say this. It's like this
Yeah.
is the worst smell ever. This is the
Yeah.
loudest of loud, and you're like,
It's like
you're
catastrophizing.
fine.
Yeah. Just, yeah. All
Yeah.
the way to the extreme.
My inner
Mm.
monologue is fun sometimes though. It's crazy.
I'm so glad no one knows what I'm thinking.
For sure.
It's not always great. Yeah.
Sometimes I get worried and I know no one knows what I'm thinking, but still sometimes I look around like making sure
Can
no
you
one
tell?
knows what I'm
Yeah.
you can't tell, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay.
My shoulder popping every time.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll pull one from this
Okay.
side too so
All
we can
right.
both get one. I should put this closer.
Do competent people get less empathy when they're overloaded?
That's good.
Yeah. I think yes. They just kind of expect you to be able to handle it, or yeah, you've handled it before, why not now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I
Yeah, why are
love
you
this question.
smiling?
Because, okay, I think that they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you've shown that you're very competent, like, people aren't as empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some people know this and they play down their competency. They act like they can't, or they don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name names. Like, you can't find something, go look for it. Did you look? Did you look where that was really located? Like,
Yeah.
I think that there's like
Yeah,
sometimes
what
even the
is
most
that?
competent people, you're like,
Uh-huh.
but you're you're now like allocating your maintenance work to me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
here to help,
Mm-hmm.
but like I need you to maintain this and like get it done. And then then you kind of feel bad because they like, I don't know how. And you're like, I know you know how.
Mm. Okay, I learned this word on Instagram. Weaponized incompetence.
Oh,
Have
yes.
you heard, have you seen
Yes.
any of those little things?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, if you know how to play your cards right,
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
do you know how
Yeah.
to do this? I don't. My mom,
It's a
do you know
good
how to cook this?
strategy.
I've never actually touched a stove. I don't know. Yeah. New people I meet, because I feel like, I've been so independent. I do so much. I'm like, I want to learn everything. I want to do it all. New people, if you come into my life, I'm going to pretend I've never done this. I don't know. I don't know how to do laundry.
Mm.
I can't help with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. There is a balance. And you gotta know how to like stand up for yourself too, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then on the other side of that, I guess it's like knowing when to delegate, and being
True.
comfortable not micromanaging things.
Wait, when do we get to micromanaging from this? What, what did your inner monologue go to?
I've been all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking about like
There was a specific example that came to
yeah, we
mind.
don't have to get into it. We won't get into that right now. What you got over there?
Okay, I have
Let's
what
move on.
boundary has changed your capacity the most? Ooh. I think I really just it's not I don't really put boundaries on other people that much. I think sometimes like a boundary is like, I need your help, or I need you to do these things. I more have started with like my internal boundaries, which I don't think I had the best when it came to like my nature is to give and to do. I love it, I now feel like my identity is tied to it, my worth in some instances. And I had to realize, like, okay, in loving others and your job and all these other things, have you maybe loved yourself less? And I still want to love all of those things 100%, but I have to, the fuel is coming from me. There has to be a 100
Something
here.
to give. Yeah.
Something to give. And there's always that saying of like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I'm like, the thing with capacity is like, my cup never felt empty, but I should be overflowing. I should be overflowing. And I want everyone and everything to experience all of this overflow. And I'm going to say something that, like, I don't know if this is just my opinion. Not rooted. This is like in facts, okay, folks. Google this, feel out your own feelings. But I feel like society, like women, and in nature, I think women, like, we're designed, we give. There's a giving and a caring nature to us biologically and societal norms that we almost have to be more protective, because by nature you're already giving. And so then when you add more of pressures to give and do, it can just disperse yourself to where it's like, where are you? Where are you rooted? And everything else that you're giving to around you feeds off of how nourished you are. Yeah. And so I'm learning to just make sure that I'm checking in physically. I used to override my physical all the time. I used to be like, I'm tired. I don't care. Get a cup of coffee. Let's go. Like,
keep going.
This project's hard. What does it matter? Give it to me. Let's do this. Like, I'm like Lee in that sense. Like, we both, if we set our minds to something, I don't care if we have to like run through a wall. We're like, we're going to do this. We're going to get it done and accomplish it. And I've now been like, but should you get it done? Should you at this cost?
Yes. Yeah.
Is this the path you want to take? Yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
Well, these were good questions. Katherine.
You know, it's like I always come away with more questions, more like work, like self-work, like more digging to do, but it's necessary, it's important, it's it's like this is our life.
It's our life. It's our life. Yeah. And the core of how we get to live it and experience it, the way we lead others and care for others, they just benefit from us having the bandwidth to actually be there and be present and give our best.
I like the visual of the cup overflowing, and like you can give kind of from that overflow. Like it doesn't have to take from your full cup to give to others when you're overflowing.
Yeah. And I think overflow is way more possible than we've designed or discussed it to be. And some of it is mindset, right? Some of it is like, some of it's things you actually do in your life. But I feel like it is possible. There's the people that you meet and you're like, you're doing so much, but like with such joy and balance and and the grace of like some days will look different. Some days you're like, I thought I had 100 to give. I don't. I'm tired. But thanks for having this discussion from like a real and rooted standpoint. You have an incredible career, like we've shared, family, and you make everything look graceful. I know you're saying like some of this you're working on and you're realizing, but outside looking in from the day I met you, you have a very peaceful nature about you and you do a lot. So your 75% is still like everyone else's 110%.
I don't know about that, but
we all do.
Me.
everyone around you sees that.
Well, I appreciate it, but some work to do still. Excited to do the work.
Yeah. That's life, and the goal isn't to eliminate being overstimulated because that's a signal. It's just a signaling to you something.
Yeah.
But the goal is to just be capacity conscious and to know your limits, to know your inputs, to recognize when you're at 90%, when you're giving 110%, when you're at 75%. Because in love, life, leadership, it all requires your presence, and presence requires you to regulate. So, for all of my overstimulated friends out there, I want you to ask yourself, just check in with your capacity this week. Ask yourself how many inputs are coming in, and are there any that you can eliminate to bring yourself a little bit more presence? Maybe it's turning off the news for a day. Maybe it's putting your phone on do not disturb. Maybe it's just asking for a little quiet time or coming up with a fun game with your kiddos that maybe involves using different senses. It is important that you take care of you. And I say this at the end, and at first I was like, I don't know why it just comes out, but I love you all. Thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in and being part of this discussion, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much, Katherine, for being here.
Thank you. I had a
I
great
love
time.
you.
Love you too.
All right, listeners, we'll see you soon. Bye.